Hi and welcome. My name is Sherry Placco, and I'm here to talk about can 14 days change your energy, your cravings, and your routine? So, welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here because I think this conversation is one that so many of us need. And I want to start with a question. Can 14 days really change the way you feel? Can 14 days give you more energy? Can 14 days quiet those afternoon cravings? Can 14 days help you build routines that actually stick? I think the answer is yes, but probably not for the reasons you think. Because this class isn't about another diet. It's not about counting calories. It's not about being perfect for 2 weeks. And it's definitely not about guilt. It's about nourishment. Can I ask you another question? How many of you have ever made it to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you found yourself standing in the kitchen looking for something sweet? Or you poured another cup of coffee because you're just trying to make it through the rest of the day? Well, I'm super guilty of that. Or you climbed into bed completely exhausted because somehow your mind still won't shut off. Or you've promised yourself, Monday, I'm going to start over. If that's you, welcome. You're in the right place. I am going to now have me disappeared so that you can focus on the slides. So, as you may be aware, I have spent more than 3 decades teaching, and I have been teaching first through third graders for that entire time. And one thing that I've learned is that kids do their best learning when their basic needs are met. Give them breakfast, give them water, let them move, encourage them, give them consistency, and amazing things happen. Honestly, I think adults aren't all that different. We expect ourselves to run all day on coffee, stress, convenience food, and very little rest. And then we're frustrated when we're exhausted. Maybe we're not failing. Maybe we're simply undernourished. I read something once that completely changed the way I think about wellness. It said, we're often overfed, but undernourished. That sentence stopped me because most of us aren't lacking calories. We're lacking the building blocks our bodies need to create energy, recover from stress, support our immune system, think clearly, sleep well, and simply function the way that we were designed to. So tonight, I invite you to think differently. Instead of asking, what do I need to cut out? What diet should I start? How much willpower do I need? Let's ask ourselves a different question. What happens if I consistently nourish my body for 14 days? Because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about why we feel stuck. We're going to talk about why whole food nutrition matters. We're going to talk about NingXia Red. We are going to talk about what makes the 14-day NingXia Reset different. We're going to talk about some simple daily habits and what success really looks like. Now, before we move on, I want you to think of one word. How do you want to feel 14 days from now? Maybe your word is energized, focused, calm, less inflamed, more consistent. Whatever your word is, keep it in mind as you're listening, because I believe something really important. Your body isn't working against you. It's communicating with you. And we're going to teach you how in 14 days, your body can start listening. So let's start with the question that I hear most often. Why do I feel stuck when I'm trying so hard? I think the answer could surprise you. So I'm going to start with a little story. I'm a teacher. You're going to have to hear some stories from me. Can I tell you about one of my houseplants? Actually, it's probably more accurate to say one of the many houseplants I've accidentally neglected and they haven't survived. Well, every time it starts looking sad, the leaves droop, they turn yellow, and it just looks like it's given up. Now imagine if I stood over that plant and yelled, Come on, try harder. Why can't you be greener? Why are your leaves falling off? That would be ridiculous, right? Because we all know what the plant really needs. It needs water, sunlight, good soil. It needs nutrients. It needs consistent care. And yet, how many of us talk to ourselves exactly the way I joked about talking to that plant? I have no willpower. I'm lazy. Why can't I stop eating sugar? Why am I always so tired? Maybe, just maybe, your body isn't failing you. Maybe it's asking for support. I think so many of us are living in survival mode. We wake up already tired. We grab coffee before we drink water. We rush out the door. Lunch happens at our desk or maybe in the car. We hit 2 o'clock and suddenly we're looking for chocolate, chips, or another cup of that coffee. And by dinner, we're exhausted. And then we wonder why we don't have the energy to cook, exercise, or take care of ourselves. Sound familiar? Yeah, I've been here too. Here's what I've learned. Our bodies are incredibly smart. They are constantly communicating with us. Low energy, that's communication. Brain fog, that's communication. Sugar cravings, yeah, you guessed it. Feeling inflamed, poor sleep. Our body is always sending us messages. The question is, are we listening? Instead of asking what's wrong with me, we need to start asking, what does my body need? I want to go back to that thing I told you about, that thing that had really changed my perspective. Most of us are overfed, but undernourished. I want you to think about that for a minute, because we have no shortage of food available, right? But are we getting enough colorful fruits, vegetables, antioxidants, minerals, protein, hydration, enough real food that actually supports our body? Because we aren't lacking calories, we're lacking nourishment. So instead of asking what's wrong with me, I want us to start asking, what does my body need? Because that question changes everything. It shifts us from criticism to curiosity, from guilt to nourishment, from trying harder to simply supporting ourselves better. And that's exactly why I love the NingXia Reset. It's not another challenge. It's about 14 days of intentionally giving our body consistent nourishment. So that brings us to the question of, what does nourishment actually mean? Because if our bodies want support, what are they really asking for? And that's where whole food nutrition becomes so powerful. So let's talk about food for a minute. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you can never eat pizza again or cookies or French fries, because that's not real life. I don't believe wellness is about perfection. It's about nourishment. So here's something that really changed the way I think about food. Calories and nutrition are not the same thing. Calories give us energy, but nutrients are the building materials our bodies use every single day. Think about building a house. If I dropped off a giant pile of nails in the front yard, would you have everything you needed to build a house? Of course not. You'd still need the lumber, the windows, the drywall, and so on. Our bodies work exactly the same way. You don't just need calories. We need vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, proteins, antioxidants, phytonutrients, amino acids, fiber. Every one of those nutrients has a job to do. That's why I love asking a different question. Instead of what shouldn't I eat, I ask, what can I add that will nourish my body? Can I add another serving of vegetables? Can I drink more water? Can I prioritize protein? Can I add antioxidant-rich whole foods? It's a much kinder way to approach wellness. I think we have been so ingrained about restricting and stopping the things that we feel guilty about, that we don't really look at that bigger picture. And it's one of the biggest problems in our culture, is that we're constantly eating, but we're not nourishing ourselves. We're busy. We grab food in the car. We eat at our desk. We're running from one thing to another. So we have to make the decision to say, today I'm going to nourish my body. And here's what I find so interesting, that when we start adding nourishment, we often naturally start making better choices. We're going to be drinking more water. We crave less sugar. We start moving more. We sleep a little better, not because we forced ourselves, but because we're supporting our bodies instead of fighting them. And I think that's the mindset shift I hope everyone leaves with after listening to this. We're not building perfection, we're building nourishment. We're giving our bodies the building materials they need to do what they were beautifully designed to do. And that's why whole food nutrition matters. So, this word antioxidants, let's talk about what they actually are and why they matter. Because antioxidants are what NingXia Red is all about. It is an antioxidant super drink. This isn't just juice. It's wolfberries, which is like a cousin to the goji berry, but they are only grown in the Ningxia province of China, hence the name NingXia Red. It contains blueberries, pomegranates, aronia berries, cherries, plums, citrus essential oils, all whole food ingredients chosen because they're naturally rich in antioxidants and phytonutrients. And it's the foundation of our 14-day reset. So this word antioxidants, you kind of see it everywhere, right? You see it on labels, you hear it in commercials. People say things like, this is packed with antioxidants. But what does that mean? Well, I like to think of them as your body's cleanup crew, right? Every single day, dust settles, right? Think about your house. The dust settles in your house. Someone tracks dirt through the kitchen. The dog comes in with muddy paws. Mail piles up on the counter. Nothing catastrophic happens. Just normal life, right? Little messes happen every day. Now imagine you spend 5 minutes tidying up every evening. The house stays manageable. But if you ignore those little messes for 6 months, everything starts to pile up. Our body works the same way. Every single day we're exposed to stress. Work stress, family stress, poor sleep, processed foods, air pollution, sun exposure, exercise. Even simply creating energy inside our body creates normal wear and tear. Scientists call this oxidative stress. It's a completely normal part of living. Now, here's the good news. Our bodies are designed with their own cleanup system. They're constantly repairing, rebuilding, and protecting us. Antioxidants simply support that natural process. They are the cleanup crew. They help our bodies take care of the normal wear and tear that come from everyday life. And where do antioxidants come from? Nature. Think about the most colorful foods you can imagine. Deep purple blueberries, bright red pomegranates, dark cherries, orange citrus, rich green leafy vegetables. Nature gives us clues. These beautiful colors come from plant compounds called phytonutrients, many of which act as antioxidants. That's one reason that we're always encouraged to eat the rainbow. Different colors provide different kinds of support. And that's why I love NingXia Red. Instead of trying to eat 6 or 7 different super fruits in every single day, I have one simple habit. This right here. All of these things are together in one delicious drink, not to replace fruits and vegetables, but to complement them. It's one simple way to consistently support my body. And I think consistency is the key. One salad doesn't change your health. One walk doesn't transform your routine. One good night's sleep does not erase months of stress. But small choices, repeated consistently, absolutely create change. That's exactly what we do with a 14-day reset. We're giving our bodies 14 straight days of consistent whole food nutrition and antioxidant support. Not when we remember, not just every once in a while, but every single day. Now, NingXia Red is amazing. It's made from wolfberries along with other antioxidant-rich superfruits. I call it nutritional insurance. This wonderful super drink has been clinically shown to increase energy, improve sleep, and reduce daily stress. NingXia Red makes wellness deliciously simple for the whole family. Its star ingredient, the NingXia Wolfberry, is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. It is packed with fiber, amino acids, and antioxidants. It's hand-harvested from our partner farm in NingXia, China, and the berry's vital nutrients are preserved through an innovative puree process perfected over decades to deliver maximum benefits in every sip. And then for added antioxidants, NingXia Red also has a superfruit blend of plum, aronia, cherry, blueberry, and pomegranate, plus D-limonene from orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine essential oils. And with only 5 grams of naturally occurring sugar per sugar, no caffeine, and a delicious tangy taste, it's a nutritious choice for all ages and all life stages. So why a 14-day reset? Why not 7? Why not 30? Is there something magical about that number? Actually, yes. The answer has less to do with the number and more with consistency. So this reset is amazing. It's not asking you to overhaul your life. It's just asking you to show up for yourself for 14 days, one packet at a time, one meal at a time, one walk at a time, one glass of water at a time, one day at a time. And here's something that's so important that I need you to remember. We're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to become aware. How do you feel when you're hydrated? How did you feel when you had protein for breakfast? How did you feel when you moved your body? How did you feel after 14 days of consistently giving your body antioxidant-rich whole food nutrition? That's the experiment. That's the reset. So we are going to talk about 4 simple habits to make this easy. And that's what makes this so really nice. We're not trying to overhaul your life. We're trying to help you create a rhythm. And while you're consistently giving your body this antioxidant-rich whole food nutrition through NingXia Red, there are some easy habits that you're trying to accomplish. And none of them, I promise, require perfection. The first one, nourish. So remember, we're not going to ask, what should I cut out? You're going to ask yourself, what can I add? You want to be focusing on protein, hydration, minerals, and that whole food nutrition. Eat the rainbow. Water, super important. You should be drinking half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, for example, you should be drinking a minimum of 75 ounces of water every day. So that's your first habit. Nourish your body. The next one is move. Can I let you out on a little secret here? Movement doesn't have to be a full workout. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to help make you sweat. Movement is simply a way of telling your body, hey, let's wake up. Go for a walk around the block. Stretch while your coffee's brewing. Dance in your kitchen. Go outstairs, outside and garden. Go up and down the stairs. Park farther away. Again, we're not chasing perfection. We're creating momentum. Even 10 intentional minutes of movement is enough to change how you feel. Movement supports circulation. Movement supports mood. Movement supports stress relief. Movement reminds your body it's alive and capable. Movement is medicine. Our next habit is reset. You need to take the time to pause, relax, get some of that morning sunshine. Use essential oils to help you start your day. Do some deep breathing. Feel gratitude. Slow down to move forward. We are always racing against something. always running to the next thing we need to do. Take a few minutes for yourself every day. And finally, fuel. We talked about that with that food. Focus on your protein, your vegetables, your healthy fats, and your water. It's so important to do that. Remember, this reset isn't about checking boxes. It's not about getting an A+. It's about creating a rhythm that says, I'm going to nourish myself today. So that's what's so nice. This challenge, it's actually simple. So here's what it looks like. You will do 2 packets of NingXia Red 3 times a day. So that means on your first 3 days, you are drinking 12 ounces of NingXia Red a day. Each packet of NingXia Red is 2 ounces. So on days 1, 2, and 3, you drink 2 packets with your breakfast, 2 with your lunch, and 2 in the evening. Then for the rest of the challenge, you drink 1 pouch with each of those meals. Remember, you're going to focus on whole food nutrition, drinking water, and trying to keep moving. These little choices don't seem dramatic, but repeated every day, they become routines, and routines become lifestyles. So, what are some habits for success? First of all, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. People that overthink it tend to quit, right? Prep ahead. If you need to focus on more protein, plan your meals. I personally make little egg cups. I make them, it's like 10 eggs and a cup of cottage cheese. I mix it up in my blender, and then I cook them in little cupcake pans so that I have little egg cups, kind of like you can buy at Starbucks, but they're my own. I know what's in them. It's a pure organic egg and an organic cup of cottage cheese packed with protein. But I make them on Sunday, so I have them for my week. Pre-plan, make your life easier. Stay hydrated. Don't go anywhere without your water, and celebrate small wins, because that's important. This isn't always about losing weight on the scale. It's about all of the other things. So, what if success wasn't really measured by the scale? Your body can be healing and feeling better long before that number on the scale change. So maybe you're noticing less food noise, steady energy, better sleep, fewer cravings, better mood, better digestion. Your clothes are fitting differently because you're losing inches and inflammation. You're starting to feel like yourself again. The goal of this 14-day reset isn't just a smaller body. The goal is a happier, healthier life that just feels good to live. So I wanted to show a few different testimonials. That is me up there on the top. In June of 2024, this was me at my school with a bunch of my colleagues. And almost a year later, same shirt, same hallway at school, I lost 30 pounds doing the 14-day reset. I didn't do it perfect, but I really worked hard on prioritizing drinking water, eating protein, and moving my body. And once I started drinking this and nourishing my body every day, the cravings for those salty, sweet things went away. Those cravings at 2:00 for coffee went away. And it's possible to totally nourish your body with this drink and reactivate those things inside that have just kind of like stopped listening to the signals that your body's telling it. You need to help it. You need to listen to your body and give it what it needs. You can see the different testimonials here. Some people, it's not just about the weight loss, it's about helping their blood sugar regulate. It's about reducing the inflammation, the bloat, regaining your energy. And if there's one thing tonight that you can take away from this call, I hope it's this. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Keep your NingXia somewhere you see it every morning. Carry a water bottle. Add protein to your meals. Go for a walk. Step outside for 5 minutes. And if you have a day where nothing goes according to plan, don't quit. Don't wait until Monday. Don't decide you failed. Just make your next choice a nourishing one. That's it. Consistency creates change, not perfection. So if this sounds like something that you are wanting to try, I recommend that you connect back with the person who referred you to this call and ask for their link, because they also have a code that's going to save you 10% off your first order. An even better option is to make your first order a loyalty rewards order, and you will get 10 points. It's kind of like getting store credit and a free gift. And then if you order again next month, you'll get a free diffuser. And once you get this 14-day reset, be sure that you have connected with that person who sent you this call, because they've got some resources to give you. We have an entire getting started guide about the reset with some of the things that maybe we're not always excited about doing. So some of those things that are part of this 14-day reset in a book that we will send you, it's a digital book that you can print out. Here's the hard one. It's the measuring. The first time I did the reset, I measured myself. Everything. My arms, my thighs, my belly, my bust, my hips, my calves. It was a hard thing to do. I know getting on the scale is hard, but we do it. And then we're like, ew, I wish I hadn't done that. But I measured myself. I needed to know where I was, so that as I was doing this journey, I could look back and say, wow, look at where I was. And that is what this picture has helped to show. But after my first reset, I lost 6 combined inches when I've added up all of where I started and where I was after 14 days. It's amazing the amount of inflammation, water, and bloat that you will get rid of on this 14-day reset. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Please reach out to whoever sent you this call for more information, and I hope you have a great evening. Thank you. Bye.